Caitlin Clark and Gabby Marshall. And we will start with opening comments from the coach.
I'm just really proud of the way that we played today. I thought we played really good team basketball. We got everybody involved. We had 5 people in double figures. Did a great job on the boards. They only got 4 offensive rebounds in the whole second half. I'm really proud of my group. And, Caitlin comes out and has 15 assists, only 2 turnovers. I thought that there were so many people that played well in this game. Sita Folter has the highest plus-minus of anybody. Gabby Marshall knocks down threes. Kate Martin, her leadership out there is absolutely unbelievable. And Hannah Stalkey didn't let their center have a single O board. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. So I'm proud of my group.
Thank you. We'll start with taking questions for the student athletes. Row 2 right here.
Hi, everyone. Howard Magdal at the Nats. Congratulations on the win. Caitlin, one for you, and Sid, one for you if I could. Caitlin, it's 48-35 at halftime. You guys come out. It's 6-0 run to kind of step on the gas. How conscious were you of making that the moment that you wanted to kind of put this out of reach?
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the locker room at halftime, is really come out and dominate that third quarter from the start, and that's exactly what we did. We forced them to use a timeout, and I thought we just really controlled the game once we got that lead. We were able to sustain it even when they went on a few runs. We were able to switch up our player defense, our zone defense. I thought that caused them a few problems. But overall, I just thought we executed offensively, whether it was in zone, whether it was in man-to-man, whether it was in transition, and then we did a great job on defense. Just a complete basketball game is what it felt like.
And so just from your perspective as one of the end one on that play, how much easier does Caitlin make things, getting the ball to you in rhythm like that? It seemed like her assists today weren't just leading to scores, but it was just at every point precision where they needed to be.
Yeah, I think we get reps like that all the time in practice, and Caitlin's the best passer in college basketball, and that's what we like to do. We like to get out and run, and she always finds us in transition. So,
Doug Feinberg, the AP. Caitlin, I've had about 4 minutes to process winning, but thinking about what's ahead now, you get a chance to play LSU again. It's not for the same level of importance, but still obviously a chance to get back to the Final Four. What does it mean to get a chance to play them again?
Yeah, I think we're excited. I think, anytime you have a chance to go up against somebody you lost to, it brings a little more energy, but at this point in the tournament, every single team is good, whether you're playing West Virginia, whether you're playing Colorado, whether you're playing LSU. You prep the exact same way. You come in with the same exact mindset. And I think overall it's just going to be a really great game for women's basketball. And they're really solid 1 through 5. We know we're going to have to rebound the basketball. But obviously I don't know the ins and outs of everything about them because we haven't gone through the scout yet. But more than anything, I think just building off this win today, I think this was the first time in about 3 games we were able to put together what felt like a complete basketball game on both ends of the floor, whether it was in transition or on defense or just really executing our offense. So I think being able to build off of that and take that momentum into our next game.
Caitlin, Chad Leistica, Des Moines Register. Give me a sense of your mindset coming into the game. It looked, from my perspective, our perspective, you really wanted to get everyone involved. The passes were there, but you also wanted to drive to the bucket to get twos.
Yeah.
Was that kind of, what were you thinking before the game of how you could produce the best?
Yeah, I knew they were going to give me really good ball pressure coming into this game. And honestly, when we set our first couple of ball screens, they were playing drop coverage, just kind of their big was just staying in the paint. So I knew either Hannah was going to be open on the roll or I was going to be able to get pretty easy layups. And that's kind of what they went with, more just chasing me off of all the screens and giving up drives. And luckily I was able, I think I only missed 1 2-point shot tonight. Obviously I didn't shoot it as great from 3, but I thought my penetration to the basket was really good. I think that also led to quite a few of my assists too, because it made them pick and choose exactly what they wanted to do. But when we're able to get stops on defense, that's where, I really thrive in the transition game. And I think Sid runs the floor really well. Hannah runs the floor really well. And those are tough passes to catch and handle and, finish more than anything. So I'm just proud of them. You don't get an assist if your teammate doesn't make the basket. And then obviously the way Gab shot the ball tonight, 80% from 3. And it seemed like she came up with some very timely threes right when, we maybe had a couple turnovers. Gabby was always right there to find an answer for us.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. Caitlin. This
Oh,
way.
sorry.
Sorry if you've already been asked this, but you've talked before about playing in the spotlight and how you kind of thrive on that. What is it like when you come into a game like tonight? I mean, the crowd it was a packed arena again. Crowd was wild. Obviously, there was a matchup looming that everybody has been waiting for. What does that do to your mindset?
Honestly, I think when I step on the court, like a calming sense comes over me. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I have 13 amazing teammates that have my back, and these are the moments you've worked so hard for. This is what you've put your the time in for in the gym all by yourself and with your teammates. And I guess it's just kind of like, go let your work shine, go have fun, go have a blast, and whether win or lose, there's a lot to hold your head high about. And I thought that's exactly what we did. Everybody kind of just played with a smile on their face and had a lot of fun. And I speak for everybody on our team. We did not come into this game knowing LSU had won and we're like, oh, we want to win to play LSU. We came into this game like, no, we're focused on this game. We're focused on beating Colorado, because Colorado is a really good basketball team. In my eyes, they've played in one of the best conferences in the country in the Pac-12 all year long. They've gone up against really great competition, and I thought we defended really, really well. So I think that's just the biggest thing, is I came in with a sense of, a calming presence and knowing I have people that have my back, and this is a game that I've put a lot of time into, and I'm only promised, 40 more minutes, so might as well go win it.
Claire Hanna with TSN. First of all, congratulations on making it to the Elite Eight. I'll direct this one at you, Caitlin. Obviously, the goal is to win a national championship, but it's one game at a time. How often do you think back to that national championship game last year, and what comes to mind from it with LSU?
Oh gosh, honestly, not that much. Ever since this season started, like, my focus is like 1-0 every single time we take the court, and I think that's exactly what Coach Bluder preaches. It's like, I'm not caught up in the past, I'm not caught up in the future. I try to keep my feet right in the present and be where my feet are, and prepare one game at a time. And I think I wouldn't be able to be the player I am if I was too worried about what has happened or what is going to happen. And yeah, you can learn from everything, but to be honest, the run we went on last year, like, it goes so fast and it kind of is a blur at this point. I almost remember everything in between the basketball games better than the actual basketball games. And I think the biggest thing to take away from that is, everything comes down to one possession. I think that's what our group learned from that journey, is we played in a lot of really tight, close games, and being able to execute down the stretch is really important. And I don't know, I think that's the biggest thing. Sorry, my memory is not very great, but that's all I got.
Marissa Jack, Spectrum News. This is for Gabby and Caitlin. Obviously, you guys go out there, you don't have necessarily the biggest team on the floor. You saw some size in Colorado, you're going to see some size in LSU, but you all don't seem to really need that. Can you talk about what you do as a team to play to your strengths, to use that speed and to show off the ball movement that you ladies can have?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to pick and choose with our team. Obviously, there's a lot of attention on Caitlin, and she's going to get one or two people who have to look at her throughout the whole possession. So I think that leaves other people open. And, I think she does a great job of finding her teammates, finding who's open, reading the defense before the defense even does what they're going to do. And I think that's truly speaks to what we try to do. We pass up good shots for great shots. We really pride ourselves in our assists, and I think we're kind of just hard to guard because you have to pick and choose. If you're going to stay in on Hannah, the shooters are going to be wide open, and I think that's kind of what you saw tonight. It's just like a complete basketball game, and 20 assists. I mean, that's Iowa basketball for you right there.
Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera. This is for Sydney. Gabby, you can comment as well, but how important was it to get you and Kate and others involved early in this game to kind of set the tone that this was going to be a team effort tonight?
Sydney, go first. Thank you. Then Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, we always preach that there's 5 players on the court and everyone on the bench, and, no one's more important than anyone else in our circle. And when we go out there, we know that they're going to have a lot of their eyes on Caitlin, and that's going to leave us open. So we're confident in each other to knock down those shots, and that's what we're going to do. I think she said it perfectly. I mean, it just makes us harder to guard. If we move the ball like we did tonight, I mean, it makes the defense work even harder. And I don't know, it just things open up when you're hitting shots from the outside and there's balanced scoring. And so I think it kind of makes Caitlin's job a little easier when we're all hitting shots and we can help provide some of that offensive threat.
Erica El Ayala with CBS Sports. Gabby, speaking of hitting shots, I mean, you did a pretty good job today. What do you think was working offensively, and what did you see that was kind of given to you by the defense to get you in the position to make those shots?
Yeah, I think when they went into that zone, it kind of opened up
like one more passes, and like they were pretty spread out, and they had to worry about Caitlin up at the top, and so I think that kind of gave me more room to shoot it. And I mean, it led to pretty much, I don't know, a lot of open looks at the three, and so I think just having my feet set, being ready to shoot, it's kind of what I did out there when they switched to that zone.
Last one is here. Okay, go ahead, and then the last one here. Go ahead.
Pete Doherty, Albany Times Union. For any of the players, I mean, this isn't Carver Hawkeye Arena, but it seems like you definitely had a home crowd here. How did it feel out there? Did you feel like the crowd was in your favor?
Go ahead. I mean, yeah, when you look around, you see a bunch of Hawk fans, a bunch of black and gold, and it was loud. It was loud in there, and I think that's kind of what we're used to. And we love those environments. I mean, we love when it's wild, crazy, energetic, and we kind of feed off of it, and it gives us momentum.
Thank you. Last one. Go right here. Yep.
Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. This is for you, Gabby. You know, this last year of work has all been about getting to Cleveland, getting to the Final Four. Now that you guys are 40 minutes away, what is that feeling?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Obviously, we're gonna have the same mentality every single game. It's been one game at a time, and it's gonna continue to be that way. And we're gonna prep the same way for LSU as we have all year. And I think, you know, we're focused on this next game. We're not gonna get too ahead of ourselves. Obviously, that is the goal, but I mean, we're just gonna focus on this next 40 minutes, and I mean, know the coaches are gonna have us prepared and just play Iowa basketball.
Thank you to the student athletes for your time, and congrats again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we'll take questions for Coach. Start here in the second row.
Hi, Lisa. Howard Mandel, the next. You know, obviously the offense is pretty much exactly where you'd want it to be. You held Colorado to 37% shooting, you know, below 30 from three, and a lot of that came late as well. What is the state of your defense, and what were you guys doing defensively so effectively tonight?
You know, I thought our three-point defense was really good, and we didn't want to let them get it on a roll in the three-pointers. And then, you know, I know they still got 16 offensive rebounds, better than the 21 we gave up last year, but they only got 4 in the second half, so we did a better job boxing out in the second half. You know, I think Gabby is such a good defensive player, and people don't give her enough credit for that. There are games that she'll not score a single point for us and just come up with key play after key play. I thought that we were physical. I thought that we did a really good job communicating on defense tonight.
Hey, Coach, Doug Feinberg, the AP. The start you guys had, I mean, it seemed you threw the first punch, and they didn't really ever recover from that to make it really that competitive. How big was it to get off to a good start tonight against Colorado?
I thought it was great. It didn't feel like it was, when you said it wasn't competitive, felt like it to me it was. But I thought we came out the third quarter, too, and really had that punch to begin that third quarter. I think we had 3 straight stops that turned into pushes for us. I think we set the tone early in both of the halves. I think it was really important.
Go ahead.
Lisa, Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. I know you probably aren't caught up in this. I mean, you're looking at the game Iowa versus LSU, but this is the game that everybody's wanted since last April. How big of a deal is this for women's basketball, and how fun is it to be a part of, you know, something that's really kind of changed the narrative of the game?
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty excited for it. I mean, 12 million people tuned in last year to see this game. Might be the same this time. Who knows? I know that these are 2 really good basketball teams, and it's almost unfortunate they're meeting this early. But you know, everybody that's left now is really good, and LSU is certainly that. It's, you know, again, I haven't looked at our scout yet. I haven't gotten ready for that, but I just know it's going to be highly emotional and highly competitive.
How you doing, Coach? Cherie Nicole, Essence Magazine. Just wanted to piggyback off of your last comment, actually. And I know you all are saying, you know, one game at a time. You don't want to live in the past. As a former athlete, though, I can only imagine competitiveness is what it is. And with that said, you know, your last matchup with LSU last year was there was a lot of things happening on the court and off the court, meaning a lot of press, a lot of social media attention. There's energy behind that, and I can already feel the energy and the momentum building up, even with the fanfare here today. How do you temper that with your team? How do you keep them focused as well as keep them competitive and really ready and excited to possibly avenge what happened last year?
Yeah, we got run out of the gym last year, so it was pretty bad. But honestly, we try to keep the blind, just keep looking straight ahead and not listen to the outside noise. And I think my team has done a good job of staying off social media, trying not to get caught up in that. I think when you get caught up in all that, now it takes your energy off the focus that you need at hand, and that is to prepare for a really good LSU team. Nothing else matters. Nothing matters that happened last year. Nothing matters except for being ready to play this really good LSU team. And, I just don't think my players are going to get caught up in listening to outside voices. They haven't all year. They've handled it all year, and I think that they'll continue to do so.
Hi, Drew Wemple from Troy Records, Saratoga of the Capital Region. When you're coming into a new arena and a new community this week, and you see the fans that are here today, I know a lot of them were the home faithful, but does it ever catch you by surprise to see how many people come out to watch and experience this team?
Do you mean Hawkeye fans specifically, or anybody?
Anybody.
Anybody. Quite honestly, everywhere we go, the average attendance increases a lot because people want to see Caitlin Clark play. And so right away, she's a magnet for fans. And wherever we go, it is the highest crowd that they have all year long. So it doesn't surprise me at all. What does surprise me is many Hawk fans that are here, because what I had heard before this was announced that it was already sold out and that we weren't going to get many tickets and all that. So to see so much black and gold here, they must have worked really hard to get their tickets. And so again, Hawks fans are absolutely incredible.
Mike Halas, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Lisa, Caitlin got her second personal with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. You don't take her out. I've seen players taken out automatically for that time after time after time. Why didn't you? And obviously it was a good thing you didn't.
I thought the 2 fouls she got were kind of touch fouls. They weren't like, I don't know, they were just kind of like, that could have been called, maybe not called. To me, she's so smart. I just talked to her a little bit, just said, hey, be careful, you got 2. We put her out at the end. We were taking her out for defensive possessions, but she is one smart basketball player, and I really trust her. We also went to some zone to try to protect a little bit too.
Right up here, second row. Go ahead.
Nope, I didn't put my
Nope, okay. One more, go ahead.
So, not asking about, you haven't done your scout on LSU yet, obviously, but given that you have such a tight turnaround to get there and it's such a big game, what goes into, having such a short turnaround and coming up with, hopefully, the kind of game plan that gets you into the Final Four?
Well, you don't wait till tonight to do it. Honestly, we've been working on, I have different coaches assigned to different teams, and I have somebody assigned to LSU. And when I go back to the hotel, they'll have a scout ready for me to look at, and then we'll all sit down as a staff and try to figure out a game plan. But you don't wait till now. You've got to do your homework ahead of time. And believe me, there was a lot of wasted paper and hours on UCLA and some other people. But that's the way it is this time of year. You have to be ready for everybody.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.